This is from Egil's saga. Egil was a man as tall and strong as a troll and as ugly. He was a great, powerful warrior, prone to black and violent moods, but he was also a great skald, and he once earned a ring of red gold weighing a full mark from King Aethelstan of England for his poetry. He was among the first settlers of Iceland, and he raised his family there. Egil had a son named Baldvar. Baldvar was a fair and promising youth with a good disposition. In truth, he reminded Egil far more of his long-dead brother than he did of Egil himself. Egil loved his son deeply, and Baldvar was very fond of his father in return. One day, Baldvar was helping some of Egil's servants transport some lumber by boat. The wind sprang up against the tides, and the seas were in violent commotion. The boat sank. All aboard were drowned. When Egil heard the news, he rode his horse down to the shore where the boat's wreckage had washed up, and he found his son's body. He held his son before him on his horse, and then he rode to the burial mound where his father was interred. With his own hands, he broke open the mound, and then he set his son beside his father. So great was his exertion that he split his hose and tunic along the side. Then he closed up the burial mound, rode to his farmstead, and shut himself in his bed closet. No one dared speak to him. The next day, Egil would not emerge from his bed closet, nor would he accept anything to eat or to drink. His wife grew very concerned about him, so she sent word to their daughter Thorgerd, who lived about a day's ride away with her husband and her family. Thorgerd immediately gathered some of her men, and then she rode all night until she came to her father's stead. When she arrived there, she spoke briefly to one of the servants, and then she entered the main room of the steading. Her mother greeted her and asked her if she'd had any supper. Thorgerd replied in a loud voice, "I have not eaten, nor will I until I am gathered up to Freya. I know no better way than my father's, and I would not think to live on after he and my brother." Then she marched over to Egil's bed closet and shouted, "Father, let me in. I want to go where you go." Egil opened the door and looked down upon his daughter. He said, "You do well to follow me, daughter, and you show me your great love. Who could think to live after such a tragedy?" Egil led Thorgerd into his bed closet, and for a while they sat in the darkness and the silence. And then Egil spoke. "How is it, daughter? Are you eating something?" Thorgerd replied, "I am chewing seaweed, so I will be worse off than before. Otherwise I think I might live too long." Egil said, "Is it bad for a person to eat seaweed?" Thorgerd replied, "Very bad. Will you have some, father?" Egil said, "Very well." He accepted some of the seaweed, and he chewed on it for a time. Then Thorgerd called out for some water. She said, "That is the trouble with chewing seaweed. It will make you thirst all the more. Will you drink, father?" Egil said, "Very well." The servants brought them a horn, and Egil took a deep drink out of it. But then Thorgerd exclaimed, "Father, we are tricked! That is milk!" Egil was so angry he bit as large a hole out of the horn that his teeth would allow, and then he dashed it upon the floor. Thorgerd said, "What are we to do now that our purposes are foiled?" "Father, I think it would be better if we were to live. You could write a poem for Baldvar, and I will carve it onto staves, and then you can recite it for the funeral feast." do not think that Baldvar will get a proper funeral otherwise. Egil said, I find it unlikely that I could write a poem. But I will try. Though it was very difficult at first. Egil did write a poem regarding the death of his son. When he finished it, he recited it for his family. My tongue stirs tardy and slow, nor my mind moves quickly now. Hard to budge your heavy thoughts, and make mead meter here. Strife maker stole this small surf. Once it flowed freely, but now, not eager is Odin's theft. Hard to draw from heart's fastness, since my son on sea tumult lost his life. Oh, the waves down within the dark blood of Luminaries' neck. His end took him. For my kin have come to fall like a tree or turned in storm. Harsh burden, bearing the corpse of dear one from the dwelling place. The sea has sorely struck me, left me bare of bosom friends. The sea snatched my son's life thread. A strong strand was stripped from me. If my suit with sword could press, I would end the alesmith's days. Could I kill the kin of storms, Aegir's might would meet my steel. No feud I can fight the waves, nor can slay my son's killer. Soon will it be seen by all. Helpless is the old warrior. This I say, my son would have become no coward, surely. Ne'er he flinched from fire of swords. Always he upheld his kin, and at home heeded my word. Grim this gap that gale tore in my family's fence of kinsmen. Open stands my stead's wall, with breach blasted by breaking waves. Often I, in anguish think, left alone, lacking brothers, in battle about, I look at my side. I see no one. My brother in blade strife fell, my father fell to sickness, now my son in sea. Hard to find a friend to trust anywhere in all Iceland. Men care not for kinsmen slain, and barter brothers for rings. Odin took up to God's home the ash that out of me grew, the sapling, the son of me and my wife, who mourn his loss. Well, I stood with Strife Maker, trusted him as true-hearted, until he turned on me, shorn me of my shield of kin. I bow not to battle lord, raven god has wronged me sore. Yet, Mimir's friend has made to me for this harm some high amends. The great God has given me a fault-free, unfailing skill. Drink of dwarfs drawn from my breast, a verse boat to bear my son. not, for hell waits nigh, and stands o'er my stead for me. I'll not go to greet with her, hasten to the halls of death. Cruel weight comes off my heart. Nibelheim's queen must wait for me. When Egil had finished his poem, he walked over and he sat down at the high seat of his household. Then he and his daughter planned the funeral for his son Baldur. When the funeral was done, Thorgerd made ready to return to her, but Egil went to speak to her. He said, "It is custom to give a gift at parting, is it not?" Thorgerd replied, "Small gifts, aye." Egil said, No small gift." He took the gold ring that Ethelstan had given to him, and he placed it